Three, two, one. Welcome to the Gab. This is a very special episode. It is the season of holiday and also Giving Tuesday. And I am here with Melissa.
Hi, Gabby. I'm so glad to be here for this special episode. There's so much going on during the holidays, but first of all, we are here in the new studio for CNJN, and we're so excited to be in downtown Trenton for the first time with this studio on 1 West State Street in Trenton. So many great things happening in the community that we're going to talk about today. Giving Tuesday is one of them, which is so important to everybody and nonprofits. So we're going to get all into it all, but first the holidays.
But first the holiday, this is so exciting. It is, of course, the season, one of my favorite time of the year.
Oh, yes.
Because suddenly people are becoming much nicer.
True.
Right?
Yes, very nice around the holidays. Except for when they're shopping.
Except when they are shopping. But what are the few things that you have on your list, Melissa, during the holiday?
So one thing that's really important to me is my daughter went off to college this year, so
Right.
she's coming home, and I want to be able to really spend as much time as possible with her. I know she's going to want to see her friends, but I'm going to capitalize on just enjoying my daughter and having that time together.
Right.
Family's so important, but unfortunately this year my sister does have leukemia, and she is going to be gone for the holidays. She's getting a stem cell transplant in the hospital. I tested to be the donor as her sister, and my other donor, fortunately, is going to be able to save her life. So as we talk about people going through tough times and Giving
Yes.
Tuesday and people being happy in the community, we also have times that we're sad, and we can lean into that as well. So prayers for my sister Kate at this time.
That is right, and I think it's a good point, meaning so many times we are looking about the good side of the holiday season, but yet you do have a moment where you just need to have a moment of silence and pray for the loved ones that are out there and that need your help. So Giving Tuesday, this is so exciting, and we have a guest
We do.
coming in.
We absolutely do. So Giving Tuesday is November 28th, and it's a time that many nonprofits look to be able to get to the next level and really raise awareness for the charities. So we have the Smith Family Foundation, who we have coming on today to talk about Giving Tuesday. They have some of their grant recipients here that we're going to highlight so that they can get some background from individuals and also from other community members to get engaged with their cause.
Right.
So the Smith Family Foundation has been around for about 7 years,
Right.
and they do great work, mainly in Trenton. About 85% of the grants that they give are in the city of Trenton.
Right.
And we have Catherine Nanulli, who is the CEO and a Smith family member. Catherine spent the majority of her career in Essex County as an educator and community organizer. In 2016, Catherine returned to her hometown of Trenton, New Jersey, served as the executive director, and is now the CEO of the Smith Family Foundation in Trenton. Their mission is armed to empower the community, cultivate leaders, and transform lives by providing funding and leadership. And what's really important is the blessing to the community is they are Black, women, and family in philanthropy, which is really, really important. And you really stick to that core mission of 85% go to Trenton area foundations or recipients or charities. And we're just so thrilled that you're really taking that next level with the city of Trenton. So welcome, Catherine, to the show. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes.
Thank you.
This is an awesome moment, meaning, so how do you basically make your selection into your process with the Smith Foundation?
So thank you so much for bringing us here. I'm so excited to be on the Gab show. Thank you so much. I'm going to try my best not to gab so much.
Oh, yeah.
We want to hear the gap from you. That's what it's
a
all
lot,
about.
don't worry.
Whole hour to gap.
Good. So the Smith Family Foundation it was a really simple choice. So I'm gonna try to tell this story really, really quickly, and why we decided to stay here in Trenton and why we decided to do this whole philanthropy thing. So when I was a child, quick story. When I was a child, my mom had a garden. My mother and my father, we had a garden. We lived in the South Ward of Newark. If the South Ward of Trenton. Anybody from Trenton? We know that's
that
down
is.
the bottom, right? So they had this garden in right next to our house, and every morning, 4 o'clock, we would have to get up, we would have to weed the garden, we would have to water the garden, we would have to take care of the garden, we would have to do all of these wonderful things in this garden. And we had to plant these seeds, and then we would, as kids, there were 8 children, my mother and my father, and then all these random people who lived with us, cousins and nephews, nieces, whoever. So every morning we were all up, we were all doing a thing, and my mom had grapevines and pear trees and apple trees in the middle
so
of
beautiful.
the neighborhood, and it's like, this is happening before urban, gardening became a thing. And so every morning we wake up, we do it, we take care of this, and then it was harvest time. So harvest time would come, and we would all get out there and do the picking and the pruning and the packing of bags. So we were packing the bags, and I'm a child, so I'm like, oh, yay, we're going to have this wonderful stuff all for us. My mother and my father was like, no, we're not going to have that all for us.
You're
So
giving it
and
away.
we're giving it away.
So
It's
that's-
for the community. That's where
Yes.
the
All
foundation
really
was
started.
laid. It all started
Way
back
back as a
then, way
child.
back
That's
as a
an
child.
amazing
So
story.
when we decided, hey, we're going to do this foundation, sowing seeds in the city of Trenton, which is our tagline, it was just what it was, right? We are sowing these seeds, and it's not just for us. Everything that we do is for everybody in the city of Trenton. So that's kind of like
And do
where we came
you still
from.
have the garden?
No.
But that taught you life lessons.
It taught me life lessons.
Yes.
And planted the seeds.
I remember I used to do, so I used to go to my grandmother's house, and in the mountain in Switzerland, same thing. We needed to go there with the garden and so on and so on, and then, bring the food to the people
Right.
in the area that didn't
Right.
have.
Yeah, that's-
So Giving Tuesday and the foundation,
Yeah.
right? This is an amazing
It's an
thing.
amazing thing. And definitely, like you said, it's not just the Smith Family Foundation. A lot of people get money for a foundation and they're, give some out, but you have an incubation center.
Absolutely.
So we want to hear a little bit more about that, because not only are you granting money, you are cultivating leadership skills in those individuals, and you are almost mentoring, and you can tell us more about it, those smaller grassroots nonprofits that are coming into the city of Trenton to say, I'm giving you this money and I know you can do it, but I'm going to give you the leadership, the skills, the mentors to be able to bring it to the next level. And not only that, I'm going to house you right here in the Smith Family Foundation Incubation Center. So talk a little bit about that.
So the Incubation Center, which is one of my favorite parts of the foundation, but it's a part of our whole purple ribbon. So it's really difficult to talk about one without talking about
Let's
all
talk about
of
all
the
of
things,
them. Let's
right?
hear it. Let's
so
hear
the
about the
purple,
pillars.
the purple ribbon really talks. But first of all, our mission is to cultivate leaders and transform lives. We do that by giving out money.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really interesting when a philanthropist say, money is not the most important thing. For us, it's not. We want to give you money because we want your organization to be sustainable, but what's most important for us is that the educational piece comes in, right? Because the Smith Family Foundation, we can leave at any time and say, we're going to spend down our corpus, but what we teach you and what the Smith Family Foundation shares with you in terms of how the nonprofit works, how philanthropy works, that stays with your organization forever. So we look at the entire organization as a structure to make sure that folks are sustainable and they're ready to move forward, even without us.
So which kind of challenges, meaning you are giving the money, first of all, how do you select the people that you are giving the money to? But then you have that portion of education that comes in place. So what are the challenges that you see when you are giving that whole platter of solution, yet you have challenges?
Right. So we have challenges. First, I'll answer. We work, if you're from Trenton and you're a nonprofit organization from Trenton and you service at least 85% of your participants are from the city of Trenton, you put in an RFP just like all other philanthropic organizations. And so when you do that, we try to make you understand that the grant, the money is just a piece of what we're given. And that's where the challenge comes in, because most nonprofits are used to going to a philanthropy,
Absolutely. Yes.
getting money and
And
walking
that's
away,
it.
sending in their
That's it.
reports or what
Right.
have you. But that's not what the foundation does. I'm
Okay.
like, you're going to come to these transformative leadership development
Right.
classes.
Yes.
We're going to have 3 of them if you're in this program.
Right.
And if you're in our our signature program, which is the Forever Forward Fellowship, you're going to come to 30 of them over a 3-year period.
Wow.
So
That's
30.
amazing. So, Catherine, what's really interesting about that is I remember 7 years ago when you opened up and people getting the grants and then saying that they had to go to those programs. And at first they were a little thrown off, like, I'm getting this money, but there's this big commitment. And then they really realized that they needed that to be able to get to the next level, which is so important. I've been on the other end where I've done donor advised funds and given out money and been in the nonprofit space. And like you said, they do the RFP, they go on, they write the grant, and then from there they get the money. And there really is a report or two where you're
Right.
taking it to the next level to say, you're more grassroots. We kind of have been around. We know what's going
Right.
on in the city of Trenton, and we're going to guide you, mentor you, and we're going to help you
Right.
get to the next level for the people of
Right.
Trenton.
For the people
and
of
that's what it's
Trenton.
all about. Almost like we're all in it together.
Absolutely.
And that's what's rare about what you're doing in comparison to a lot of foundations out there. And like I said, people were not understanding when they were applying, and then they were really relishing in it after they understood that
Right.
whole process,
Right.
because they needed that mentorship, they
Right.
needed that leadership, and the workshops and the programs that you
Right.
provide.
Right.
So I think this is bringing also the portion of the outreach, and we are going to bring Nikki on to kind of
Yes.
give you a strong arm
Yes.
to make that case. So we are going to take a break, and we will be right back. So don't go anywhere.
Right? See, it's flowing, right? Woo! Woo! Do the little dance, right? It just flows, right? Wait, right? I'll do the welcome back, and then you say the Nikki thing,
Yeah,
right?
sure. Got.
Let's see. I mean, look, I like to. Here's what I do. I throw out my papers.
So for this segment, we have, I believe we have 14 minutes.
No, I don't think
No,
it needs to go
10?
14. No,
10.
it's more like we
give
went a
us
little short
11.
on this one.
How much time you taking that one?
Give us 12.
How much was that?
Give us
first one?
12.
You guys are right on it.
Because are we doing?
Oh, we
here's
were
a quick
right on
question.
it?
We're right on it. Here's a question.
What was the minute on the first one?
Are we doing Nikki? We're doing Nikki. Obviously,
We did
Nikki's gonna
10
get
on the